Hi, Star Family. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for your reading. There is something about you guys adjusting the frameworks in which you see reality through during this time as you begin to look at life through the eyes of the soul. Okay, that's what's coming through because I had to adjust the camera angle so that it could be, straight. So there is something about being aware. I'm hearing of the way that you apply your free will at every moment in time and being really intentional with the experiences that you want to engage with during this time as well, and what it is that you want to co-create into your experience. So this reading is all about the integration of the higher self. It's where the interface of your divinity meets the physical vessel, and your higher self is completely anchored and merged with the lower self, okay, with the physical vessel, and they begin to move as one through this experience. So there is something around being your higher self in physical form, being the higher embodiment of your physical self, okay? Higher embodiment. So some of you are embodying a high level of awareness where you're no longer just merely interacting or engaging with this matrix, but you're now an outsider looking in, and this is through your gamma perception by viewing life through this higher level of awareness, okay? And I'm hearing the awareness that you've cultivated of oneself. So you have some astral travel messages to open up, and you guys were recovering memory from the snow in this first scene. And you were processing a lot of emotional data when it comes to your past experiences, and you learned how to have mastery in your response to external stimuli, and you had fully matured into your higher self. So this is about the blossoming of your higher self and really being able to navigate these experiences in a way that I'm hearing does not go by the script, okay, in a lot of ways, but you've been able to cultivate a different, I'm hearing resource. You've been able to cultivate a different like navigation system, and it's through your internal compass I'm seeing right now. It's not like a traditional external map. You're no longer allowing external factors or situations to govern your internal state. I'm hearing it's your internal networks that actually dictate and can predict the external networks that begin to reveal themselves to you. So there's something about your internal world is now governing your external factors as well as the way that you respond to these external factors. So there's something about you guys becoming a master alchemist during this time where you're essentially able to widen your perception of your experiences on Earth, and you are operating or navigating these external oppositions with a stillness that you've cultivated internally. There's something about you retreat to the inner still sanctuary within before you respond to anything externally, because there's something about your creative life force and being creative life force in a physical vessel, and you don't want that to just be, I'm hearing like entangled quantumly with just anyone or anything, okay? All right, so you guys were again recovering memories from the snow. So snow represents clarity and a fresh start. You were going inside to recover the memory of who you really were, the integration, reactivating the dormant aspects of your divinity and your also ancestral memory. And the scene was an angry person, and you were literally staying in the air, like flying above these circumstances, and you were untouchable, just waiting for them to calm down before choosing to engage or interact with them. And this was again representing the embodiment of your higher self. So you guys levitating in the air represents a desire for freedom, independence, breaking away from limitations that may attempt to hold you down. And it represents you guys becoming empowered by your external factors and not allowing them to overpower you. And floating above ground also represents, again, control over your circumstances. So something about, again, a level of control that you have in your response to others. And you were having to be like really kind, okay? And this is about an old version of you that's no longer on autopilot. And you have chosen to become aware of old patterns that may manifest themselves, and you are consciously choosing a different path during this time. So it reminds me of the eagle rising above the fray and the like drama, okay, or like the crows arguing over the crumbs, and instead choosing to, you know, fly to higher and higher altitudes that the crows cannot withstand. So it's like you're no longer paying attention to things or people that you don't want to be a part of your reality, and it's just not personal, it's just vibrational, okay? All right. So you guys are clearing out old frequencies in order to allow new frequencies to begin to move through the body. So you can choose to become your higher self. You are your higher self in a different octave, and it's within you, and it's completely accessible at any point in time. So you are tuning into this dimension of self as a multidimensional being, and it's allowing you to cultivate a strong sense of self-love where you're making choices for the soul's path, right? The timeless consciousness that's seated in this physical vessel, and you're removing out self-created states of suffering where you're choosing to engage in the arguing over the crumbs. When I'm hearing, as you gain a higher level of awareness, you realize that that's a self-created state of suffering. You don't have to engage with the drama that eludes you. I feel like we should read that card because that's like really in alignment with this, but it's like you're standing up for yourself by living in your authentic truth. That's what it gives me. But yeah, stagnant energies are being cleared. It does give me the violet light as well, so maybe we should find that card too, but there's two that are being activated here, so I'm going to find them and read them. But the violet light is clearing stagnant energies that have become crystallized, okay? This is like crystalline geometric structures within the body, and these have created blockages to some kind of degree, and you're dissolving them through your crown chakra. So your biggest filter of perception during this time is the crown chakra, and that allows you to again see life as your higher self. Let me see if I can find the violet light for you guys. Yeah, here it is, the chamber of the violet light. So we'll read these two. They're being activated. But yeah, you're removing basically any debris in your field during this time, anyone or anything that you just don't resonate with. And again, it's just not personal, but you're redirecting your filters where you're clearing out these things that could manifest as ailments, where it's like you're no longer taking on the suffering of others, right? Or the suffering that others may try to project onto you as your own. So yeah, you're being very intentional when it comes to experiencing life as your higher self, and even upon these external oppositions, you're able to cultivate an internal balance with them, okay? But yeah, it's super interesting. So you're choosing to experience your lessons through your higher self, and this allows you to know yourself so deeply that you recognize the invitations that are presenting themselves to you to experience what it is that you want to choose to co-create. And if you even want to be a part of that energy exchange, you know, that's definitely what it gives me. So you're alchemizing this and you're merging your higher self with your human vessel. And at the end, you guys had dice as well. So this represents making a decision during this time, and if you want to imply yourself into something or not. But yeah, it's like focusing on what it is that you want to interact with, and it requires a level of strategy as well. Right, let's take a look at 18. This is definitely the theme right now for this first scene. Protection, inherent trust, and rising above the fray. This talks about the eye of the eagle offers you a gift of foresight, the skill of looking ahead, and that's what you guys are doing, right? It's like you're seeing every possible, I'm hearing reaction that your action could have. So you're choosing not to just react, but you're choosing to respond very intentionally to these circumstances. And this allows you to see the unfolding of destiny before it manifests as reality. So this is like gamma perception, where you're able to address blockages as they appear, and they're not really a blockage. You're realizing no one's ever really standing in your way. There could just be a perception of that, but as you expand to a high universal broader truth, the truth is that you do not have to engage with the matrix, but you can become an outsider looking in and choose, you know, not to engage, right? And that non-action also is an action. That cause will also have an effect. So I feel like you're able to sustain harmony within yourself, despite the external stimuli that may be happening. So yeah, the eagle's extraordinary vision allows it to spot the tiny mouse from its lofty perspectives. And mouse in my TD message decks talks about discord amongst friends or family, so it could be significant for you. But it flies thousands of feet into the atmosphere. In a similar fashion, you can train your keen eye to discern the workings of humans. So again, this is about the physical vessel that other, you know, separate states of awareness are seated within. And some of these separate states of awareness, they're deities that are still lost in sleeping matter, in a way where, again, they have these unconscious responses, and they are not conscious of, you know, the responses that they have, right? The reactive responses that they have. So there's something about that you can identify and discern where there's actually conscious awareness that's seated in a physical vessel, right? Where somebody's integrated and anchored their higher self, and is also their higher self in physical form. or they may be at that dissonance between their higher self. And because of that, you know how to engage. I'm hearing when to engage and also when not to. And it's nothing to do with judgment. There's just something around understanding, okay, and to understand others and to not expect others to understand you that don't even understand the full version of themselves, I'm hearing. All right, let's go ahead and see what else. And then we also have, this is again, invitations to witness the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, yet react to nothing. Act only to further your noblest calling. The eagle flies above all the creatures. When it meets obstacles, it simply rises above them. Know that you are protected and that you can fly high above the judgment, slings, and arrows and darts of envy from others who may not have your great wings but are still arguing with pigeons over crumbs. Trust that you are ready for whatever fortune has placed before you. Even if you feel not yet properly equipped to meet its challenges, your willingness to say yes to spirit has nothing to do with how outfitted you are. Hesitating, on the other hand, will suck the air from under your wings and make you lose altitude. You're called now to trust your heart and instincts and to move fearlessly and not waver. The time is right. No harm can come your way if your motives are pure and you act courageously. So there's something about acting from the heart and acting with courage during this time. But you can almost see with this I always forget what it's called. Every time I finish a read, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it's called. It's a microscope. It's not a microscope, but it's like a looking glass. This reminds me of Alice Through the Looking Glass, which is super interesting. So this is like it's a corridor of safe passage where you're being invited to learn more about yourself, okay? And also I'm hearing learning how to cultivate a strong sense of stillness where you have this regulated nervous system, and you can regulate your responses because of that. I'm hearing there's something else that was coming through in regards to your response to others, and is an awareness of yourself and how aware you are. You're aware to the degree that you can't expect others to be kind to you when they are unkind to themselves, okay? So there's something around that specifically. Okay, let's go ahead and see the Chamber of Violet Light, because that was another big theme that was coming up in the first scene. Let's take a look at Chamber of Violet Light. Oh, I just passed it. So yeah, some of you, this could be about the opinions of others and no longer allowing that to hold you back, right? Because opinions are just linked to personal history and it usually is a confession in disguise. So yeah, this is about the violet light, clearing low vibrational experiences and turning darkness into light. It's a gateway of alchemy, and that's what you guys are being asked to do during this time. Alchemy is the art of turning lead into gold, and from an energetic perspective, the violet light flame is where we place all that is leaden and heavy and from life and turn it into a golden opportunity. So something about an opportunity to practice all it is that you preach, or practice all it is that you have learned, right? This is about the integration of the higher self, which is to become whole, okay, and to become healed and to see life through the eyes of being healed and see life through the eyes of the soul instead of the eyes of suffering, okay? And the ancestral memory, I'm hearing, to see life through the eyes of the ancestors. Okay, when you receive this card, know that the violet flame has transformation and has been brought to you by your angels and guides. They are encouraging you to see that you are in a space of radical transformation. Transformation can be overwhelming, but know the hand of the divine is leading the way. All past trauma is now being cleared from your energy. Stay focused on releasing all the energies that are no longer serving you. The violet flame is here to transmute fear into love. If any fear is rising up inside of you, know that it's simply a call for love. Call in the strongest form of love. You will know and allow those in your inner circle to support you through this transformational time. You're an alchemist with the capacity to take the leaden aspects of your life and turn them into golden opportunities. You can align your life with the divine plan and live in a more purposeful way. So yeah, this is about you guys, again, being a master alchemist, right? You study it like it's calculus when it comes to the equations of this life, right? The frequencies and I'm hearing decoding this experience, right, for what it truly is. And there's something about understanding when the crows do attempt to poke and prod at you, it usually is because it shows an act of vengeance or an act of anger, and anger is the fool's revenge or the coward's revenge for being intimidated, okay, by these strong wings that you guys possess. And wings, even multi-dimensionally, they actually begin to grow, right? When we talk about angels and your etheric nature, they begin to grow as you cultivate your upper dantian, okay? As you focus on the full expansion or full expression of your multidimensionality. So there's something about, again, being able to hold multiple frequencies within your vessel right now, and not being limited to just one dimension, you know? Not being limited to just one dimension, but applying higher levels of awareness. And by the way, one dimension means one frequency. Dimensions are not spatial like concepts. That's what the brain is formatted to believe. They're frequencies. So you're not limited to just one frequency, and this is like the one way that you see life, but instead you're shifting the frameworks in which you view reality through, and you're doing that consistently, but you're very conscious in the way that you observe these experiences and what your largest filter of perception is, you know? But yeah, it's like you're viewing them through the crown right now, and it's allowing you to dissolve anything that you may have been entangled to in the past, and instead like have a fresh start with the snow, you know, when it comes to what it is you actually want to co-create into your experience that feels more aligned with who you are now. Okay, yeah, there was another energy that was coming through, or another message, but I can't remember it right now. We'll see if it comes back around. Scene 2 is turning pain into beauty and the magic of alchemy. So this is the integration, which is to not eliminate the negative emotion of the human, but instead expand your range of perception. So yeah, there's something about the crows poke and prod at you as the eagle, to see that as an exaggerated emotion, which is only a reflection of their fear, and that usually is a call for love. It's a call for attention. So there is something about not allowing others to distract you off of your path right now. That's what it gives me. But yeah, being able to see this from a high level of awareness. There was also a woman who was painting in this scene, and she was basically painting out of sadness, and you told her to feel the love, okay, and integrate that into the canvas that would become her life. And she had lost a child, and you were showing her that there could always be love after loss. So there is something about being able to love yourself through the refinement periods, okay, and maybe even like losing or releasing. I'm hearing also transforming old versions of yourself, old archetypal versions of yourself. And it reminds me of 𝓣𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓼, which is against the natural order of things, like a mother that loses a child. It shows us that we must evolve, and in order for us to evolve, we must release our attachments. So there's something about no longer attaching to the stories that have played out, right, which is about the crows poking and prodding at the eagle, you guys, but instead releasing the crow itself, releasing that character that has played a part in your story, and you know, just allowing your wings to take you to a different horizon. That's almost what it gives me here. But yeah, it was a super interesting energy. Afterwards, there was a guy who broke his foot, and he was a skateboarder, and he learned to use his mouth to skateboard. And he had a wrong shoe size, but he still got balanced, even though other people tried to sabotage him. So this is about a breakthrough where you're finding an internal balance with external oppositions, and along your spiritual journey, you're learning how to protect your peace, okay? It's like you're learning how to ground yourself, okay? Be so rooted and grounded in who you are that there's nothing that anyone can say, there's nobody's absence or presence that can disrupt or compromise your being. You're able to, you know, protect your energy, protect your space, protect your life force. You can align your actions very accordingly in regards to how it is that you want to co-create these experiences, if you want them to even be a part of your experience or not. And skateboarding represents a delicate balance where you navigate obstacles. This could be in your professional, personal life. Mouth is also a center of expression, okay? So this is about being able to express your true essence. And I feel like a lot of you, again, this is around love. You're also counting money on a train, which is about improving your sense of self-worth. Again, being able to alchemize these experiences and recover the gold. So being able to see the value that you gain on your life's path with the train. Hey, and you'll never be the same, right? Again, so 144 as well, that was the amount that you guys were counting. This represents a spiritual awakening and enlightenment, and that you're on the right path, and that your guardian angels are watching over you. This also serves as a reminder that you have the power within you to manifest your dreams and create the life that you desire, okay? That was the energy that was going on here. And yeah, it's super interesting. There was also something about time that was coming up too. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but being in the present moment shifts the architecture and structure of your body. So there's something about being able to be in that present awareness, okay, so that you can be conscious at every point in time in regards to what it is that you want to engage with, what it is that you do not, and being able to utilize your radical free will to open up higher expressions for you. But yeah, it's super interesting. Yeah, being ever present for all of eternity, okay. And I'm hearing no longer repeating expressions of the past. But yeah, super interesting. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going on for you guys then. We'll keep these out on the side. This reminds me of, yeah, I think I'll do that on another reading. Or should we clear them out together? Some of you, there was something around like a heart rate. I was seeing a heart rate on a car. Yeah, it was like a van. So you know how it's got like the dirt, that's how you know you're living. You're always in these like cycles, all right? No, not cycles, but seasons and phases, okay? You're no longer like repeating the same repetitive feedback loop, but there's something around the heart rate. And when I was kind of decoding this in the third dimension, I was like, right, these are like ups and downs that happen in the collective's experience. But each time you get back up, it's like you begin to leave certain things behind and release certain dead weight. And every time you come up, you step into the unknown where new stories can begin to play out. So there's something about being able to kind of shift your perception through these experiences and always come back into that higher awareness, but you no longer return to the level that you were once operating on. So there's something about stepping into a new frequency every time you come up, but it requires you to go through a refinement period. So yeah, super interesting. And this opens up your vision. Okay, you're accessing almost like higher brain waves, if that makes sense. You're anchoring in higher frequencies, frequencies into your vessel, where it's like you're an outsider looking in on your human experience. So after that, I saw 555 right after on a car, which represents getting comfortable outside of your comfort zone. So a lot of you, this could be like a new way that you're navigating life on Earth. That's almost what it gives me. But yeah, it's like each time you come back up, you're a different person, or you're no longer operating the way that you once were. It's like you can learn from your past, you know? That's almost what it gives me. Yeah, we have the Garden of Venus. I love this card. It pretty much talks about everything that we did, especially with the Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic here at the base. It talks about you wielding your power wisely. Okay, it says the tool is not it's not a weapon, it's a instrument, okay, that you're utilizing during this time. Let's go ahead and read 25. So, and it's interesting because the first thing that was coming to mind was Five of Swords energy for you guys, where it's like, you know that you don't see eye to eye with certain people, circumstances, and it's not for you to change or impart anything on them. It's for you to realize with Venus and Aquarius, you can no longer say yes to others at the expense of saying no to yourself. And some of you, that came at your authentic expression, because on this same night in the astral, I dreamt that you guys were like writing down a download for music. It's like you were hearing some kind of inspiration from the astral realm, from the higher realms, and you were anchoring that into the third dimension to be able to act on that. And it was something that you knew was just gonna blow up. It was gonna become mainstream. It was like a download that you were receiving in these higher brainwave states, right, from these higher dimensions, and acting on that. And you knew instantly that, again, it was going to become very successful, but there was something around the opinions of others, or, you know, when you tell others how these things come to you, it's like they don't understand. So something about, it's a time to understand others instead of trying to be understood by them, you know. Okay, so when the Garden of Venus appears, you're invited, actually summoned, to return to the pleasure of the Garden of Love. And I'm hearing, don't try to also have others understand you when they are intentionally attempting to understand and misunderstand you. There's something around that, like people that try so hard to intentionally misunderstand you. That's what Five of Swords does. And the only power that you can, I'm hearing like, you can take away that only power, which is your attention. And I feel like that's what you guys are doing during this time. So it's a time to leave the field of battle, put your swords away. There is nothing you need to defend anymore. Step through the gate into the garden of earthly delights. Bask in the joy of the wish-fulfilling trees and the scent of the healing flowers. You have returned home. You are weary and it's time to rest deeply and be renewed. Go into the sacred garden alone, as there's no need for another to present the experiences and its pleasures. So it's like you are a witness to your own growth, right? And this is, I always say, like, you guys are like a warrior, but you choose to be in the Garden of Venus and smell the flowers, where there's other gardeners that have no business being at war, but they're calling you onto the battlefield, you know. So it's that type of energy. So you are weary, it's time to rest again, be renewed. Really stop looking for another, enter by yourself, allow your senses to intoxicate you, leave all thought behind, lose your analytical mind and return to your body. There is a pond that shows you a reflection when you stoop down to drink. Who's staring back at you? Look at who you've become. Rinse your face with these healing waters and practice deep acceptance. Love who you've turned into with all your imperfections and blemishes. The goddess Venus holds a mirror that allows you to see yourself in all of your flawed beauty. Do not become caught in its spell. After a quick glance, take the mirror with you and return to the battlefield. Yeah, you're returning to the battlefield but with no sword. You are the embodiment of your sword. You are in the embodiment of your truth. Then you will reveal to others who they are becoming, right? You guys are the mirror that really makes people see themselves. Then you will no longer have a use for your sword. So there's something about you're no longer choosing to engage. And it's funny because we even have a 7 of Wands here at the base, which is about like protecting your peace. And I feel like that's what you guys are doing during this time under all costs. Let's talk about 37. Because I'm hearing don't allow others who are in an internal war within themselves to... I'm hearing initiate a war within yourself, okay? Because life is too short to spend days at war with yourself, you know? So 37. So confidence in your magic, nothing can stop you, the beauty that you seek. At the base, this is about cutting the cords that bind you to old thought forms or beliefs, okay? Nothing can hurt you. And this is about not turning away from the beauty that you seek or the goal that you desire with all of your heart, all right? So this is about wielding your power wisely for the greater good. No longer feeling stuck in places that have kept you tethered to a toxic person, a particular location, or faulty thoughts and beliefs. Allow the blade to do its magic. You have a large endowment of magic available to you when you believe in miracles, but don't go to the heavens to grant you a wish, look within. Use the magician's sword to cut through limiting beliefs, and remember that all beliefs are limiting. And again, there's something about like the knowing of this. And remember that when you focus your intention in order to create the wish that you desire, you have all the tools that you need for the task at hand. You only need to muster the wherewithal to deploy the resources you have. The magician's sword appears when it's time to get moving. It's not a tool for contemplation, for gazing at a finely polished edge. It's an instrument for calling decisive action. And remember, the sword is alive with the wisdom you summon to help you find the best course of action. Do not hesitate, act. So again, there's something about like decisive action is something that is going to be super beneficial for you guys. And I'm hearing also like being decisive as well in regards to what it is you want to be a part of your experience and the things that you don't, you know, it's just that simple. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at some more oracle messages. And again, a lot of you, this is your truth, right? We have the temples of truth here, even underneath that. So there's something about your creative expression, your authentic expression. Yeah, we have broken heart, and then you have action as well. So I almost see you guys using this as some kind of rocket fuel with action here at the base. This is about where you're doubling down and you're turning, again, something that could be painful into a source of motivation. This is saying that a trigger is usually a jolt of energy that you receive within the body, and you guys are master alchemists, which means that you're an energy converter, okay? And you are basically using this as disposal to your advantage. So I get this is kind of like fueling you up. There's things that you're no longer taking personally, that you're allowing to haunt the hallways of your heart, or again, linger in the hallways of your mind, but instead you are you know, allowing this to become no more than a distant memory, okay? And I'm hearing that's all it is. So it no longer even exists, okay? Unless you're reliving that event through your head, all right? Maybe this is about the things that people have said to you in some ways. I'm hearing also the things that they have not said. Let's see. Yeah, we have the here and now. So present moment is going to be super, super important for you guys. Again, being present for all of eternity. You think of the past, but have you ever been to the past now? You haven't been to the place called the past that you think about. It's not possible. Nobody has ever been there. It's a belief that we take for granted. It is your experience that the now is moving along a line of time from the past to the future. Is the now moving? And how does the now last? It doesn't. The now doesn't last in time. There is no time for the now to last in. Now is not a moment sandwiched between these two vast spaces. There is no vast space either side of the now. The now is not a moment. The now is eternity. The ever-present, not the everlasting. But when that now is filtered through the limitations of the mind, it appears as time. The mind is like a prison which refracts the now, which has no dimensions, into a single dimension of time. So this is about no longer reinforcing the same past thoughts, emotions, memories, or expressions back into the present moment. Otherwise, you're entangling your energy quantumly with these states of suffering. And it's like you guys are rewriting the script in some way. I'm hearing you're throwing away the script and writing a new one. So there's something about like a huge reinvention that's going on, okay? But your life force is no longer like scattered between these different dimensions. It's like you're coming back to all that you are, right, which is just infinite potential and being able to co-create the experience that you want, right? But yeah, you're consciously breaking these cycles, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at what the theme is for you guys right now around this energy. But yeah, it's like you're no longer operating as a linear being, but you're existing as a quantum being, or leveraging as a quantum being right now. And your consciousness really just moves from one event into the other, okay? And there's something about your consciousness is no longer existing in a particular event of the past, okay? Or something that you've allowed the past to mold you to become in some way. It's like it shaped you to all that is that you've been, okay? But you're no longer somebody that has to continue being this person. It's like you're able to break free from an old archetypal mold and rewrite your story, reinvent your life, reinvent yourself as many times as you need to until you return back home. And it's funny because we have the 10 of Swords here that came out. So let's go ahead and grab this. Yeah, and we have the 5 of Swords here at the basic of this. Yeah, this is funny. This must be like a dominant energy going on for you guys right now, because like I wanted to do some lighthearted reads, but then I was like, these are the messages that came through. So I was like, okay, right. I trust what you guys need to hear. The 5 of Swords energy, the 10 of Swords. It's like there's a huge psychological reset that's going on with you guys right now. And yeah, you're protecting your peace under all costs. And I feel like this is really something that it took time to cultivate, okay? It definitely took time to cultivate. Again, we have the 6 of Cups, which is Sun and Scorpio. So there's things being shown right now to you. I'm hearing there's things that you're being shown right now in regards to just past ways of being, okay, that no longer serve you. The Death card is like a karmic completion and releasing yourself from the stories that have been. 6 of Cups is like a new leaf that's being turned. So it's like a new chapter that's unfolding in your life right now. So this is like a new version of yourself, you know? And with the 6 of Wands here as well, you guys are definitely coming out on top. It talks about triumph after troubles, okay? Because again, it happens after a 5 of Wands energy. Oh, that's good. That, guys, that is lavender, vanilla, and blue lotus. It's beautiful. And agave. Beautiful. I highly recommend it. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else is coming through as well. That's your theme right now. Let's see. I'm hearing there's something that you need to release, because I almost felt like I was going to sneeze. Let's see what you guys need to release right now. I'm hearing like self-created cycles of suffering. Yeah, 6 of Wands as well. Wow, the need for others to see you. Ooh, what you guys need to release is seeking any kind of external acceptance to just be yourself and to become this new version of yourself and to embody this version of yourself. If you need a witness, be your own. That's what you guys need to release during this time. Become a witness to all the Goliaths that you've been able to slay, okay? And with the Page of Cups, this could be about a vision that only you in the universe can see. Release the idea that anyone is even going to understand this, okay? Something around release the idea. No one else will understand it, for they do not have the eyes to see. You're receiving synchronicities in regards to this. It makes sense to you, and that's all it needs to make sense to you. I'm hearing, like, also release, like, feeling like you have to explain yourself to anyone. Yeah, the Fool card. Break free. Yeah, break free from Queen, right? You guys are, like, moving like a queen or king on a chessboard right now, which shows that there's an infinite, complex number of moves that you can make in this game of life that you're playing. But it's telling you to move with strategy, move with intention, and with Uranus energy, become an unpredictable being. You know, there's something about become a mystery even to yourself, and witness all that you will transform into. There's something that you are needing to release, and this is just all the stories that have been. Even if it feels like you've lost everything, again, we have the siren right now, so this could be a calling to, again, go through a refinement period. You're making room to receive so much more. And there's also something around, even if it seems like you've lost everything, oh well, you're invincible because there's nothing holding you back anymore. And this includes no longer carrying the burden of others' opinions, okay? Or the opinions of others, because it's not your burden to carry, because opinions are just, again, loaded with personal history, which usually is a confession in disguise in regards to where somebody is at war within themselves. So again, you have the 5 of Wands there at the base. So this is something that you're leaving behind. This is what you need to release. This is about focusing on stepping into shoes that were always readily available to you. And this is about a spiritual path. It's about the way that you walk through this existence. Okay. The way that you experience life on earth through this vessel. Walk as one. Allow the vessel to move with the spirit there, with Uranus energy. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll take a look at one of these messages as well in regards to what's being activated right now. Let's see what's being activated right now. Or what must you activate right now? I'm hearing once you're conscious of this, it becomes activated, and we have Cell. I love this. Okay. And we have geomagnetic storm. Don't F with me. Okay. So geomagnetic storms, I'll tell you guys this, right? Wow, this is being interconnected. So in 2017, in November, I dreamt of the ozone layer of the earth, and there was like a game that was replaying or like resetting, and the solar poles were collapsing in that dream. And I was also being shown geomagnetic storms, and I did a reading on this a while ago, like a long time ago, and I was talking about how there's ultraviolet radiation from the sun, and this is about you guys looking at like higher bandwidths of frequency light in the way that you observe life on earth. So it's like, again, you're looking at life through the eyes of the soul. And in that reading, I was talking about how you're becoming aware of your own, like, again, the cells that make up your organism, okay? The localized version of yourself experiencing life on earth. And I was also talking about not allowing anything to stop you from progressing, realizing that nothing is really blocking you, and to focus on your aspirations rather than your past mistakes. So again, a lot of you, it's like healing yourself now also heals all those past versions of yourself. I was also seeing planets as well, which is about seeing planets can mean a journey of internal connection. For some people, it's a natural part of life, and for others, it may seem like a crisis as changes will happen. So again, a lot of you, this is like I'm hearing like a midlife crisis, but it's like a midlife reinvention, okay? Some of you, it's like your 5th or 6th one, you know? But every 11 years or so, the sun undergoes an epic transformation. Its magnetic poles reverse. And the year that I did this reading on, we had the solar poles, the north and south pole reverse. And I was also talking about that it can lead to magnetic reversals. So this brings intense solar storms a lot of the times. So there could be something about, again, like a switch that's going on right now, especially this. I feel like this is connected to the south and nodal shifts that we're about to be going through collectively, where it's like you're integrating the etheric nature into your physical nature. You know, it's like a merge with the earth and the water, okay? So it's like there's a higher power guiding every single thing in your life on a daily basis, okay? Because Virgo is like the daily tasks, from your working projects to your co-working dynamics, and they're both houses of hidden enemies. But there's something about seeing them as your biggest blessing during this time for what it is that they're teaching you internally, because it's yin aspects here, but there's like a higher power guiding every single aspect of your life during this time, okay? And the higher powers within you with the yin energy. But yeah, it's super interesting, that energy. So there could be like an 11-year cycle that you guys are going through. But yeah, with the ozone layer as well, it represents Neptune energy too, which is again connections to Pisces. So it's the intangible part of the body. So you're able to hold like large ranges of frequency within you right now, and I'm hearing like filter through the infinite fractals of yourself and align with one that feels like it's in alignment with your highest possible expression during this time. But anyway, let's go ahead and read Cell with Geomagnetic Storm. This is super interesting. So you're made up of the cells of planet Earth, and those cells are made up from the selection of choices that your ancestors had made. And you had incarnated into a very specific bloodline to be able to transcend, right? Like these conditioned responses. So fundamental anatomical unit of living organisms, the key to success. This is so interesting. So your awareness and consciousness extends far beyond the anatomical body, and I feel like you guys are realizing this. It's like there's a form of interstellar travel that you have, where it's like you can gain foresight into a very specific destiny before it unfolds. And again, your destiny is going to just be wherever your actions are aligned. So there's something around being able to align your actions very specifically with the destiny that you want to experience, right? So there are 3 parts of the cell. These are cellular membranes and the nucleus and the cytoplasm. This is super interesting as well, because outside of the cell you have, and even like on the borders of the interior, you have the cell membrane, which is about plasma membrane. So this is about being highly conducive during this time, where you're able to really anchor your higher self or higher levels of awareness into your physical vessel right now, into your organism. So yeah, and you're multicellular as well. So it's like you're connecting to your cosmic origins right now to navigate life on Earth, right? Where it's like you may be in this world, but you're not of this world. So you may be operating on this world with a higher knowledge or higher awareness, right? And being able to apply that into your experiences to navigate, for optimal navigation on life on Earth, essentially. So the cellular membrane surrounds the cell and controls what comes in and comes out. And these are like gatekeepers of its own kind, right? So there's something about like you are deciding what passes through these experiences. So for example, with cell membrane, this is actually quite funny. There's something around, like, for example, when you eat food, right, you can begin to absorb the nutrients from it, but then you also need to be able to expel and eliminate, just all of the external, just density from the food. Okay, it's like you can extract like this concentrated knowledge or wisdom from your past experiences, but then you're releasing the actual stories that have played out, right? It's this dance that you're doing with creation and your external stimuli. So there's something about you're kind of extracting the wisdom and bringing that forward with you from these experiences, but then you're also like disregarding all the fibrous, dense matter from it. That's almost what it gives me here. So be aware of the energy and with which we surround ourselves, feed ourselves, and allow to enter into our aura. Okay, so it's like your aura is going to be your best accessory right now. The cytoplasm is the fluid within our cells where everything happens and is produced. Maintain a sense of fluidity to let things happen. Inside the cells is the nucleus, which contains DNA. And again, this is about the expression of your DNA in a lot of ways. And it's like you're finishing a cycle right now where it's like you're focusing on, right, what is the silver lining within the experiences that have played out, right? Always return to the simplicity of what makes us, the important things, the being, the nucleus, the root, the truth that one carries with them. Being unique, sacred, essential. The truth can always be found in the nucleus, which is about the center of the cell. Okay, so the truth can always be found in the nucleus, and the truth is always what sets us free. So it's like you're seeing this from the highest truth of all, right? And 2 truths can be true at one time, but it's about living in your authentic truth and in the way that you perceive reality and what is true for you. What is important cannot be seen. Again, this is like reading between the lines and the stories that have played out to recover the silver. But it is still there working for us in force of simplicity and humility. Okay. And again, the fun fact, the human body is approximately 30 trillion cells. So you're literally multicellular, right? Like within you, you hold so much sacred wisdom. There's something about like the activation of like ancient memory there as well. We'll go ahead and read Geomagnetic Storm just because it's connected to that other astral travel. Let's go ahead and find it. Geomagnetic storm. Disturbances to the Earth's magnetic field caused by shock waves. So this could be a shock wave. Something that you're doing could be sending shock waves, right? As you focus on, I'm hearing following your true north during this time. which is not always easy, but I'm hearing it's always necessary to lead by integrity in this way, where it's like you're no longer seeking any kind of external acceptance to go on to do the things that you want to do. An increase in solar wind pressure initially compresses the magnetic sphere. A storm is always a representation of a sudden movement with more activity than normal. Okay. A storm of water emotional affects you differently to a storm generated by the sun or fire, which is linked to violence and anger. Solar storms are disturbances which can last between several hours to several days. They are caused by external factors and produced by a sudden increase in the particles emitted through solar flares, which reach the magnetic sphere, resulting in alterations. So something about you guys even receiving downloads or higher awareness in regard to altering your path, okay, or altering the way that you interact with these external factors. It's recommended to choose the element portal which resonates with you the most at the present time to carry it out. You can also combine all of them if you wish. So there's something about connecting with the elements during this time is going to be really important. Water is about connecting with it in any way you can, hot baths or swimming in nature. Fire, which is about burning literally what burns inside by writing it on a piece of paper and let it out in your inner space. Air is about taking 3 occasional or conscious deep breaths. I feel like I need that right now. And earth is about action sports, so about a tangible outlet for you guys, which is going to be super interesting. So there's something about you can ground yourself and connect to the DNA of the earth and also connect to your own plasma, which is going to hold a lot of downloads that you guys could be receiving when it comes to the best possible way to navigate your way through these external factors. That's almost what it gives me. And it's like there's like a karmic release that's going on where it's like your true north is there for you to be able to shape and mold your own destiny. And I'm hearing to do it in the eyes of your soul and not focusing on how other eyes may perceive it. That's almost what it's giving me here. So again, a lot of you is going to be going on to do what it is that you want to do here. That's almost the vibe there. All right, let's go ahead and close out. Well, I was going to close out already, but we'll close out with an astrological theme then for you guys, and then angel number message. Let's take a look at the astrological theme. So bring peace to your relationships and your life will flourish. Bring peace to your life and your relationships will flourish. Moon in Libra. So Moon in Libra is actually a Queen of Swords energy. So there is something about you guys viewing life through this higher level of awareness, especially with the sensitive introspective phase belonging. There's something about moving through these experiences very fluidly with the water and the air, right? It's like you have this internal knowing around what serves you at this stage in your life for optimal navigation, because the boat represents your spiritual journey, and there's something about allowing yourself to flow, and those who are supposed to, I'm hearing, go will go with you or away. Seventh chakra. This could be about your higher self, okay? With 7th chakra being activated in the way that you view the partnerships around you. And that could be with the violet light, like you guys are just removing yourself from certain partnerships. This could be professional, this could be personal, this could be family, friends, any kind of partnerships that no longer serve you. With Venus energy, any foundations that are compromised, any foundations that are built on illusions of who you want people to be rather than the reality of what they are. It's like you're no longer changing or imparting anything on anyone. You're realizing it's you who must change in the process. So it's like if you can't change the people you're around, then change the people that you're literally around, right? With Saturn energy, the part of you that accepts challenge in order to gain wisdom. There is like wisdom that you're extracting from this experience and you're acting on that awareness, right? Your awareness is becoming your biggest torch moving forward when it comes to just the resonance, of who you feel like you resonate with at this stage in your life, because you're no longer the same person. As you birth this new identity into being, you're also releasing the attachments to that old identity. That's definitely the vibe that it's giving me. All right, let's go ahead and close out with an angel number message. 555. That's funny because I was actually supposed to find that one and I forgot about it. So change happens outside of your comfort zone. The time for change is now. The angels are whispering for you to trust your path and learn how to walk it. Take the next step and allow change to lift you up and guide you forward. I release all that no longer serves me as I'm guided to move outside of my comfort zone and let change in. So again, there's like a refinement period where it's like you're leaving certain things behind. And with 143, it shows preparation. So life is filled with phases, okay? And that's literally like the phases, right, of the heart. So the whisper is telling you to prepare for the unexpected and allow change to pass through with a sense of peace. Financial and creative changes are upon you. My dreams and desires are coming to fruition, bringing change that I welcome with an open heart and mind. So yeah, you guys are definitely open to new experiences during this time. 111 destiny at the base. That's so funny because in that message, I also had 111 after 555, and I think it was a time or something of that nature afterwards. But yeah, we talk about follow what you feel, listen as your intuition helps to guide you to what you're manifesting. The inner whispers are helping you to create all it is that you desire. Listen, lean in, and follow your soul. Okay, so you guys are following your soul during this time. All right, I'm gonna love and leave you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to this channel or want to stick around for future reads, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below, and until next time, bye.